Okay, this looks like, okay, we are recording. So today I want to do some exercise to get familiar with the manipulation of tables. In Linux, it's very frequent that we will have to work with tables because many commands have a result as a table. For example, if I use the ls command, -l for long, look at here I have a table. So in the first column, you have the rights. In the second column, you have the number of hard link, then the user who owns the file, the group of the file, the size of the file, the date of last modification, and the name of the file. So this is a table. If you ask the list of processes that are running in a machine, this is another table. Okay, we have a little more field in this case, but it's also a table. If we look at the content of the file, we have not done that for now. etc password, it's a table. It's a comma-separated value file. And the separator in this case is a colon, but it's a table also. Okay, we don't have it as well formatted, but it is a table. And there is another file, for example, that is very useful, which is the etc group, and also is the same thing. So it's very important to know how to manipulate tables for doing exercises. So I create a table for us with a list of country. Here is the table. So let me see if we can see the whole list. I will have to reduce the font size. How do I reduce that? Control negative, yes, I did that. Control, yeah, does that work here? Okay, still don't see the whole table. The first country is the USA. Okay, I have almost all the table here. See if we can put the USA also. Okay, here I have the whole table. We are going to work with this table. So, as you can see, it's a comma-separated value file. So we have, in each line, we have one register, one record. And each record have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. So the first field is the name of the country. Then we have the capital of the country. Then we have the currency. Then we have the population. Then we have the superficie of the country in square kilometers. And then we have the continent. For example, USA is in America. Brazil is in America also. South America, as you know. South Korea is in Asia. France is in Europe. So we have this information. So we want to do some exercise here on that to get familiar with some basic command. For example, a command that is very nice is the command NL for number line. Put some number at the beginning of each record, of each line. So the file name is called country.txt, and look at what it will do. It will put a number. So the first country is the USA, the second country is Brazil, we can see it here. The third country is South Korea, and the last country, so we have 35 countries, is Panama, as we can see it here. So we can work a little with this NL. For example, I think there is too much space before the integer. So I'm going to say, I want the width of the integer to be 2 characters. So not here it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by default. I'm just going to say 2 characters. So now we have the number of the country over 2 characters, but after the number we have too much space. So there is another option, the separator between the numbers on the record. I want it to be, for example, let's say a colon, a space, a space. So look, it's a little better. So we have the number over 2 digits and the separator between the number and the record per se or the line per se is colon, space, space. Okay, so it's just to tell you that we can add line number easily because we have a command that is called NL for number the line. Okay, let's say that I want to counter the number of lines. We already know that we have 35 lines or 35 countries. So give me a command that will allow us to count the number of lines or the number of countries. What can we type? You remember this WL? WC? Stand for word count. If I just type what WC and I give it the name of a file, it will tell me how many characters of the file, how many lines, and how many words. So look, for example, here is the number of lines. This is the number of words. There are 66 words. And this is the number of characters in the file. So of course, if I show the information, this is the size also. So of course, if it tells me the number of characters, it has to be the size of the file, no? Okay, so this is a way to know the number of line. So we can do something that is better. -L, show me the number of line. And here it's telling me that in this file, we have 35 lines. Because it will show a table also. Because I can say, for example, show me the case of this file. And for example, I have other file here. There is an output cipher. It has 0 lines, so it was not a good idea. Let's take another file. So there is a min.c. Let's take another file. And there is a des.py. So look, it tells me that this file have 35 lines, this file have 64 lines, and this file have 299 lines. So it shows me at the end 2 fields. If I just want to select the 35 and I want to remove the rest, what can I do? That is called cut. When you have columns, you can say, okay, give me the first field. The cut command, by default, the separator must be a tab. Here, the separator is not a tab, it's a space. So I'm going to say the delimiter, if I do it like that, for it, the first column is that, because there is no tab. So what I'm going to tell it, the delimiter to separate the different column will be a space. So it's just for me the 35, because this is the first column, then we have a delimiter, then we have the second column. So I just wanted the 35 to say there are 35 lines. So let's say that I want, for example, the first field, which is the name of the country, USA, Brazil, South Korea, France. I want to extract from this file the first field. What can I do? I can type this command, for example, cat will show you the content of the file. We send the content of the file to the standard output. And the pipe redirect the standard output to the cut command. So this should show me the list of countries. Let's see. The separator is a comma. Okay, this time I have to say the separator is a comma. So this is the list of the countries, as you can see, no? So it starts with USA, Brazil, South Korea, and we can verify it here. France, Ecuador, okay, up to the last country, which is Panama. If I want, for example, the list of country on, let's say, the currency that they use, I can do, for example, this. Show me the field 1 and the field 3. So field 1 is the country, field 2 is the capital, field 3 is the currency. So it will show me the list of country and the currency. So let's say the first country is USA, we use the US dollar. The second country is Brazil, they use the real. The third country is South Korea, they use won. France is the fourth country, they use euro. Until the last country, which is Panama, and in Panama they also use the US dollar. They also have a local currency, which is Balboa. So they use both at the end. Okay, so you can ask specific columns. You can ask a range. For example, I can say, give me the range 1 to 3. So it will include the country, the capital, and the currency. And let's say that I want the continent also, which is field number 6. Okay, field number 4 will be the population. Field number 5 will be the density. Field number 6 will be the continent. Okay, since there are a lot, let me pipe that to list. So let's see, we have the first 3 fields, which is the country, the capital, the currency, and field 6, which is in which continent is the country. So we can use the cut command, as you can see. It's very powerful, and it will allow us to select some column of the table as we want, no? Okay, let's say that now I want you to do a small Python program that we give it a file and it tells us how many lines we have in the file. So I want to run it like that. Count countries, for example, and I'm going to pass it the file that I have. And it will just show 35 because we have 35 countries. So let's try to do this count country.py. So let me create it first. Let me change the mode. We can execute it. Okay. So count country. Okay, so I'm going to put the shebang or the hashbang. It will be user bin Python 3. Okay, so what should we do here? We should look that the person gave me the name of the file, that the person want to count the number of countries or the number of lines. So I need to import sys, no? I need to import sys. I have to check that the person is using the command the right way. So I'm going to look at the length of 6 argv. It has to be 2. So if it is not 2, there is a problem. And I'm going to tell the person how to use the command. Okay, so let me put usage in the first line. And I want that in the standard error. So sys.std error. And I'm going to tell the person how to use the command. So the name of the command, and the person have to specify the file name. And the name of the command is in sys.argv sub 0. Okay, if we arrive here, we did have a problem. So let's exit, showing that there were a problem. Exit 1. If we come here, no problem, so let's exit with 0. Okay, let's see that our program up to now work. So let me execute it. It is called count country. So look, I didn't specify a file name, so it shows me how to use it. And if I look at my error status is 1, which means I exit here. I didn't exit here, which means I exit, realizing that there were a problem. Now, if I specify a file name, for example, like the one that we have here, it should not show me any message error, and the exit status is 0. We came here. Okay, up to now, good. Now we need to open a file. So when we open a file, the file might not exist. So we are going to put that in the try expect. Okay, if there is any problem with the file, we are going to write problem with, if I cannot open it, with file. And we are going to put the name of the file that the person gives us. So the name of the file, we will have it in, let's put file name here, file name, and we are going to put sys.argv sub1. So here, file name. I think it's, I can just do plus, which is concatenation. I can just do here plus file name, and I'm going to send that in the standard error. And then I'm going to exit with 2. So here what we are going to try to do is to open the file. So open the file, we have the name, it is in file name and in read mode. And before we finish, we are going to close the file. So let's try to see if this works. For example, I'm going to execute with a file that does not exist. No file.txt. This file does not exist. So of course it's a problem with file, no file.txt. And if I look at my exit status, it should be 2. Yeah, I did exit here. Now, if I provide a file that exists, we have a file that is called countries. It doesn't show any things, and my exit status was 0. So I did open the file and close the file. Okay, now we want to count the number of lines. What should we do here? I want to count the number of lines, and we know that each line is a record and correspond to a country. So maybe I create a variable that is called num countries, and I start in 0, no? And then what should I do? I read the first line. If the operation was successful, I increment num country. Then I keep reading, and every time that I can read one more country, I increment num country. So let's read the first line. So line equal, we have F for that. Okay, we open the file with F. Maybe I can remove this line here. So the try except it together. Okay, so we are going to read a line. And we know that we reach the end of the file. This will be a string, the string that I'm going to read. So we know that we reach the end of the file if line is empty. So if line is the empty string, I reach the end of the file. So while I don't reach the end of the file, I should date, the number of country, and I should read the next country, the next line. At the end, after going out from the while loop, I'm going to print the number of lines or the number of countries. I call it num countries. So let's put, I'm going to show the number of countries, and that's it. So this should work. Let's do it now. 35. Okay? We can make a copy, for example, of this file, country to other file. Let's call it .txt. Let me go in this file and remove some country. So let's see, we are going to remove, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 country. So if I count it, I remove 4 country. So it should have 31. Correct. And of course, this is what I did, but we have this tool, word count dash line, 31 line, 31 country. Okay, so we did something in Python that do the same thing. Okay, now there is another tool that is called AWK. It is very famous. It was done by 3 people, Kerningham, Kerningham and Wensberger, as you can see, no? It's a very famous tool, and I'm sure that many of you use it in the first homework that you have. So let's see it a little better. So in AWK, it will process a file line by line. And you have some variables that are defined every time that I process a line. For example, $0 will be the whole line. $1 will be the first field. $2 will be the second field, etc., etc. On AWK, by default, the separator to say where we go from one column to another column is right spaces. So for example, let me show you something. If I say hello in Jacksonville, and I want the Jacksonville, I can, for example, use cut, give me the third field, and the separator is a right space. So look, it gave me Jacksonville. Or I can say, give me the second field, in, or give me the first field, hello. Or give me, for example, the first and the third field, hello Jacksonville, no? So you can do that also with AWK. So how AWK work? You need to specify what you are going to do with each line, each record. So for example, I can say, I want to print, same syntax as C. I want to print the first field, which is the hello. So it will work, it will show me hello, as you can see. Or I want to see the second field, in, or I want to see the third field. Or for example, I want to see the third field and then the first field. So it will say Jacksonville hello. Let me put some separator here. Jacksonville space hello. Okay? I can do that with AWK. So AWK will allow me, for example, if I want here the list of country, USA, Brazil, South Korea, France, I can do it with AWK. So let's do it. AWK, I'm going to say what I want to do over the file countries.txt. So what I want to do is go between curly brackets for each field. So what I want to do is to print the first field. Now, AWK, by default, the separator is any space. It can be a tabulator or a sequence of right blank character. So for it, there is only one field, the whole line, because here the separator is a comma. So I have to tell AWK that I want a comma. If I do that, look, it doesn't separate where it's supposed to separate. So here, look at the last line, Panama, comma, Panama, and this is a separator for AWK. So it's why it showed me just this one. If we look at the line of Switzerland, there is a space here. So for it, this is the first field, and this is the second field. So I can tell AWK, no, I want you to view another field. So dash capital F, and I can say the separator is a comma. So now we will have, for example, look at Sri Lanka or Ivory Coast, New Zealand that have a space, South Korea. So I did it well because I told it the separator is a comma. So for example, if I want the country and its capital, I can put the country and its capital, no? Here it is, Taiwan. Let's put, after the country, let's put a colon and a space. So for example, Switzerland, the capital is Bern. Philippines, the capital is Manila. Okay? Germany, the capital is Bonn. Okay, that's fine. So also AWK have something that you can do before you start processing the record. So you have the possibility, say, at the beginning, before I start processing record by record, do something. For example, here I'm going to say print. Let's put a line of that, for example. So if you look the result, look at the beginning. It shows me a line. Then after showing a line of equal, it processes each register one by one. And for each register, I say, show me the country, colon, space, the capital, which is show me the first field, colon, space, and the second field. So as we have begin, we have also end. So I can say at the end, do something. So I'm going to do something that is basic here. I'm going to show, for example, a line of plus at the end. And look, so before we start processing each record, we do something. And after processing each record, we do something else. Okay? It's the way that AWK works. So begin and between curly braces, you put what you want to do before you process each record. Between curly braces, we put what to do with each record. And at the end, you put end, and between curly braces, you specify what you want to do at the end, after having processed each record. So let's say that I want to show, for example, all the country of America. We have several countries of America here. So let's see. We have the USA, Brazil is also a country from America. Remember that the continent is the last one. Asia, Europe, America, we have Ecuador, Mexico, where else? Asia, Australia, Africa, Asia. Okay, I want all the countries of America. We have another one here of America, for example, which is Jamaica in the West Indies. We have another one from America in South America, which is Colombia. Another one of America, which is Panama. It is in Central America, north to Colombia. Okay. So I want all the countries of America. What can I do? I need to select the line that have America in this file. What is the command that we have been using to do that? So there is a command that we have been using, which is grep. Grep will parse a file line by line and will search for a pattern. And if it finds this pattern, it will show you the line. So I can do grep, and I put a regular expression. In this case, I just want to find the word America in the file countries.txt. And look at, it came up with this 12 line. So we have USA, Brazil, Ecuador, Mexico, Jamaica, Colombia, Panama. This is the one that we already know. So the same thing, I can say I want the European country, Europe. So as you can see, all the line end with Europe, and we have France, Italy, Portugal, UK, blah, 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 blah. I can say, for example, a pattern can be much more complex. I can look for American country or European country. Extended grep. Okay, yeah, I have to do extended grep. It's a version of grep that is more powerful. So I didn't need all this. Look, as you see, it will select the line that ends with America or Europe. Okay, so how do I say a pattern or another pattern? The pipe is to say or. So the line have to have America or Europe. So let's say that I want all the countries that are not in Europe. So grep have a -v option to invert. I don't want the line that have Europe. So as you can see here, we have America, Asia, Africa, Asia, Australia, but we don't have Europe anymore. Okay, if we look at the result, it does not include Europe. This is all the lines that don't have Europe. Okay, now let's see how we'll do that with AWK. I want all the countries that are America. So the problem with grep, let me create a country that does not exist. Let's create fake country, fake capital. Let's say that they use fake, let's say that they use the US dollar. US dollar, that the population is 100 people. The superficie in square root is 50. It's a very small country. And let's say that it's in Asia. No, let's put it in Europe. So instead of putting fake capital, let's say that the capital is Asiana. And I ask you, so we have one more country. If I ask the number of country, it will be 36. Okay, and I ask you, find all the countries that are in Asia. And you use the command grep. Grep, Asia, what will happen? It will show me this fake country, and this fake country is not in Asia. While it will show me this fake country? Because the capital is Asiana. Look at the fake country did appear, and it is in Europe. Why? Because here I have Asia. So what it's look for, it's in the whole line, it look for the pattern Asia. So it will give me more than the Asian country. It will give me all the lines that include Asia. Let's say, for example, let me create another fake country. Let's call it fake country, fake land. Let's call it fake land. And let's say that we have as a capital fake city. We can put space here, there is no problem. Okay, let's say that they use the Asian dollar. Say that there is something like that. Or no, let's put the European dollar. No, I need to put Asian dollar. But they are in Europe. It's a country that uses the Asian dollar that is in Europe. When I'm going to look for Asia, this will appear. And this will appear also. So I will have, if I ask you the list of countries that belong to Asia, this should not appear, and this neither should appear. The problem that we look in the whole line for Asia. So AWK will give us more power. So what can we do with AWK? To just say, I want the country that belong to Asia. So it's the same syntax as C++. So we can say, for example, here, if the field number 6, which is the continent, is equal to Asia, show me the country. Print, for example, the whole line, which is $0. So show me the country that have as the 6th field Asia. So it will show all these countries, but it will not show the fake country on the fake land. So let's see. Syntax error near if parentheses $1 2 3 4 5 6 print. That's correct. Oh, I know what I'm missing. Remember, between curly braces, we have to put what we want to do with each record. If $6 is equal to Asia. Oh, I need to say the separator is a comma, it's not space. So look at, we have the list of Asian country and we don't have the fake country. If I do, again, the grep give me a little more information. No, it gives me also, let's open it a little. So it starts with South Korea, Japan, India, and go up to Singapore, the list. But here we have 2 countries that are not Asian countries. So, for example, last time I asked you, I want the Asian country or the European country. So if you use IWK, you will say field number 6 have to be Asia or field number 6 have to be Europe. So look, the list, this is the command that I type, and Asia, Europe, Europe, Asia, Asia, Europe, Asia. As you can see, those are the list of countries that are European or Asian country. Okay, so it's a little more powerful, AWK, because it's allow you to do all the syntax of C++. Let's say that I want the total population of Asian country. Let me come back to my file and remove the 2 fake country. Okay, so we are back to the original file. If I look, I have 35 countries. I want to, this time, I want to know the global population of the European country. So I need to add up this population of France, 65 million people, plus the population of Italy, 60 million people, plus the population of Portugal, 10 million people, plus the population of the United Kingdom, 67 million people, blah, 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 blah. Okay? I need to add them. So what can we do? We can use AWK to do that. So let's use AWK. So AWK, what will you put inside? What you will tell AWK to do? So look, we are going to put at the beginning, that is called, for example, total Europe. Let me put total like that, Europe. And for now, the total population of Europe is 0. Now, here, what I'm going to do for each record. And at the end, what I want to do. So at the end, I want to print the total population of Europe. So I want to print total EUR. Okay, so at the beginning, I create a variable. Let me remove this space. We don't need it. And I initialize it in 0. And at the end, I show the content of this variable. So every time that I parse a record, what should I do? If field number 6 is Europe, if it's a European country, what should I do? I need to increment total EUR with what? With the population. And the population is field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4. The population is field 4. So I'm going to add field 4. Do you see it? So it doesn't work. Let me see what is the problem. If total UR, total UR, begin total. Oh, what is wrong? I need to say the separator is not a space. The separator is a comma. So look at this number. This is the total population of Europe. So let's verify that. It's going to take us some time to verify that, but we can do it. So let me use, for example, Python 3 and start adding up all these populations. So the population of France, plus the population of Italy, so you see, if you go manually, how long it will be, plus the population of Portugal. You should have choose a continent that have less country, plus the population of UK, plus the population of Germany, plus the population of Spain. Is there a way for me to do that faster? I wish. Plus, we don't see it anymore, but the population of Romania, plus the population of Finland, which is only 5 million people, plus the population of Switzerland, which is only 8.5 million people, plus the population of Netherlands, 17.1 million people. Okay, so all the numbers are here. Let's do enter. So we have 384,986,000, as you can see here. So you see, look at again. I specified that the separator is a comma, it's not right spaces. At the beginning, I create a variable, I initialize it in 0. For every record that I process, I check if field number 6 is Europe. If it is the case, I update my total population for Europe. And after I process all the file, I show the content of this variable, total Europe. And it told me that the population of Europe is this one, no? So, let's say that I want, for example, the most populated country. So, do you know what is the most populated country in the world in this moment?
China.
Yeah, it's China. So China is not in this database. So I can just verify it. No, I can just do grep China in the file. And it is not. What is the second most populated? Correct. Very good. It is there with 1,000 or 1,380,000,000 people. Okay, so I want to type a command that will show me that India is the most populated country in the database. What can I do? So one way is we can do something with AWK that will help us. So since it's a little tedious to write AWK as we have been doing, we can put the code in a file. So I'm going to create a file that I call mostpopulated.awk, and we are going to work inside. So we have the beginning part. We have what we want to do with each record, and we have the end part. You don't have to put a beginning part or an end part. It can be, maybe it's not there. So what should we do in the beginning part? Do we need to do something? We don't need a beginning part, I think so. Or do we need a beginning part? No, I don't think so. So every time that we process a record, so we do need, when we take the first record, we do need to initialize two variables. A variable that we call population and a variable that we will country. So I can say if, so there is a variable that AWK give you, is when you are in the first register, for example here, when you are in USA, this variable is called NR, for number of the record. NR will be 1 when I'm here. When I process the second country, NR, number of the record, will be 2, blah, blah, blah. And when I process the last country, since we have 35 countries, NR will be 35. So what can I write here? NR is 1, create two variables for me. This variable will be, for example, country, and the country is in the first field, and population. And we know that the population is in the fourth field. Otherwise, if we can, let me do it easier for you. That if it's the first field. If I am in another field, which is not, I could put else here, but let's do it. If I am in a field that is greater than or equal to 2, so the second country or the other country, what should I do? So if the population of this country is greater than the population that I have up to now, what should I do? I need to update my country and my population. So let me copy these two lines so I don't have to type them. I update my country and update my population. And at the end, I'm going to print the result. Print the most populated country is, and we are going to show country, the variable that is called country. And we are going to put the number of inhabitants is, its population, let's put its population is, and we are going to show the content of population. Okay, so this should work. So look at here, what we will do every time that we process a new record, a new country. And at the end, we will show that. So let me save this and run it with AWK. So I want to keep this number. Let me keep this number. Let me open a new window. Okay, so AWK dash file. I create a file, and this file is called most populated. I'm going to pass it the file of country. Don't forget to put that the separator is not a right space, but it's a comma. So look, the most populated country is India. Its population is 1,380,000,000 people, as you can see. So I did this small program here that do it. Of course, I could have do something that is, we have else in C++, so I could have done else here. And I already know that if I come here, I am in the second or third or fourth country. I'm not in the first country. So I could have done an if else, if like that, and it will also work. No, let me do it. And as you can see, the most populated country is India, and this is its population. So let's see another way to do that. I can use Python to do that also, as you can imagine, of course, no? Okay, let me ask you, I want the first three countries. I want the first three lines, USA, Brazil, and South Korea. I want these three lines. What can I type here to get these three lines? Now that you have working a lot with Linux, you should tell me a command that will allow us to get the first three lines. What can I type? We have been using this command a lot. Head. There is a command that is called head. So -n, I want the first three lines of the file country.txt. So look at, we have USA, Brazil, and South Korea. Now, if I ask you, I want the last 5 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will start in Singapore. Singapore up to Panama. I want the last 5 lines. How can I get the last 5 lines? So there is a command that is called tell. And I want the 5 last line. So from Singapore to Panama, as you can see. Okay, now I want, for example, from line, let me put number of line here, so it's a little easier for us. So the width will be 2, and the separator, let's put the same that we put recently. Okay, look at. So now we have the same country, but I put some line number. Let's say that I want from Taiwan to the end, which is from line 29 up to the end of the file. How can we get that? From line 29 up to the end. So the tell command allows also you to do that. So if you do that, it will be the last 5 command, the last 5 lines. Now, if I want from line 29 up to the end, you put positive 29. Start in 29 and give me the tail of the file up to the end. So look, it start line 29 is Taiwan, line 30 is Philippines, Then we have Singapore, Finland, Switzerland, Netherlands, and Panama, as you can see. So I went from line 29 up to the end. Okay. Let's say now that I want start in line 1. I want all the first line, but I want to remove the last 20 line. So here we have 35 line. If I remove the last 20 lines, so I will arrive, is this 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I want to say I want the head of the file, but I want to remove the last 20. So there is a way to say that also, which is you use head, which will give you the beginning of the file, and you will say subtract the last 20 of the. So I will have from the beginning up to the line that is before the last 20. And look, we will have up to line 15, which is Ivory Coast. So we started in USA up to Ivory Coast. Of course, I can do that with AWK. So if with AWK, I ask you, show me the first 3 lines. What can we write here? Show me the first 3 lines. So I can say every time that I process a record, if the number associated with the record is less than or equal to 3, I want to show this record. So I will see the first 3 lines. USA, Brazil, South Korea. If I want to see, for example, if I want to see the last 5 lines with AWK, I need to know first the number of lines of the file. If I know the number of lines of the file, I can show the last 5 lines. So we can do it. It's a little less practical. Now, if I ask you, I want to see from line 12 to line 16. What will be your guess? If I use AWK, I can say 12 is less than number of line, the number of the record, or the number of the record, and the number of the record. The number of the record is between 12 and 16. Look at Bangladesh, New Zealand, Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast, and Sri Lanka. Because I say the number of the record have to be between 12 and 16. Now, if you use head and tail, how can you do that? You want to show line between 12 and 16. You can do that. So for example, I can say with head, give me the first 16 line. So let's do it. With head, give me the first 60 line. Okay, and now that we have the first 60 line that go from USA to Sri Lanka, so I want it to go from here to here, no? Isn't it? What should I do now? I can use tail -n. I need the last 4 lines. So I will go from New Zealand to Sri Lanka. So I can use head and tail. Or I can use tail first. If I use tail first, what should I do? that we want to use tel first. And we want from line 13 to line 16. So with tel, I will say start in line 13 up to the end. This will start in line 30 up to the end. So line 13 is New Zealand, and it went up to the end. Then what should I say? From this, just give me the first four. So we have Zimbabwe, we have New Zealand, Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast, and Sri Lanka. Of course, we can do, for example, a Python program to have that. Now let me show you another command that is very powerful, the sort command. The sort command will allow us to sort the lines. So look at the syntaxes. You put sort and you specify the key, the sorting key. For example, if I just put sort on the file number, it will sort by default sort of a separator. Let's see what is the separator of sort. Man sort separator, or if not separator, delimiter, maybe delimiter. Okay, so no, it's not there. What is the delimiter of sort by default? We'll have to read a lot, maybe. I remember it's the -T option, so field separator. So by default, if when you go from non-blank to blank, so the blank is the separator for sort. So if I look at the first line, for sort, this is one field. Then we have a second field, because the blank is a separator. So if I look at the second line, this is one field. There is no blank. If I look at the third line, south is the first field, and all this is the second field, no? So I want to tell sort, when I use sort, that the separator will be a comma. Okay, let me show you how we use sort. I'm going to use sort, and I'm going to say that the separator is a comma, and I'm going to give it the file country.txt. So it's going to sort using as a primary key the first field, which is the country name. So if you look, we will have the country sorted by name. So we have Australia, Bangladesh, Brazil, so of course Brazil come after Bangladesh, Colombia, which is C, then we have the country in E, so we have Ecuador before Ethiopia, then the country in F, we have Finland before France, up to the last country, which is, the last one is USA, Vanuatu, and Zimbabwe. So let's say that I want to sort by population from the country that have less population to the country that have more population, ascendantly. So the country that have more population will be India, it will be the last one. And within this country, the one that have less population might be Vanuatu. It does not have 1 million. It's a small place, no? I think Vanuatu might be the less populated. We will see. We are going to sort them. So look, for sort, this is field 0, the country name. The capital is field 1. Then we have the currency, which is field 2. 0, 1, 2, 3. So field, is it correct what I'm saying? This is field 3. Let's verify it. I'm not sure. I doubt about what I'm saying. So I'm going to say, look, we are going to say start ordering. Let's do it first with the continent. So the continent is field number 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So start ordering in field 5 and stop ordering in field 6. We don't have a field 6, but it will order only on the continent. So we will have together all the American country, all the Asian country, all the Australian country, all the European country, all the African country. Let's see what we have. So look, this is my command, and this is the result. So look at, all those are African country, because Africa comes first. Africa, 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 Africa. Then all those are American country, because after Africa we have America. Then all those are Asian country. Then we have the Australian country. Then we have the European country. So I did sort on field. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So starting in field 5 and ending in field 6. So just using field 5. Now, if you look in Europe, this is Europe. I would like them to be in Europe by ascending population. They are not in ascending population. For example, look at the first country have 5.5 million inhabitants. The second country, which is France, has 65.2 million inhabitants. Then Germany have 83.7 million inhabitants. Then Italy have 60.4 million inhabitants. So they are not ascending in population. I would like to make a block of Europe, and inside Europe, I want to put them ascending in population. A block of Australia, and inside Australia, for example, look at, in the block of Australian country, the first one should be Vanuatu, because it's the less populated. It doesn't even have 1 million. Then the second one should be New Zealand with 4.9 million inhabitants. And the third one should be Australia with 25.4 million inhabitants, as you can see. So they are not ordered inside Australia in ascending order of the population. So look, I can say, so that was my first key to sort. Then I'm going to say, when you have a block of Australian country, sort by the population. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. The population is start in field 3. So I'm going to say plus 3 minus 4. Start ordering in the field 3, stop ordering in field 4. So this is the first key or primary key, and this is the second key or secondary key. And here, I'm going to add an N to say don't order them like alphabetically, but numerically. Okay, let's see what happened. Let's see now the Australian country. They are together. So look at who is first. Vanuatu with less than 1 million people, 0.3 million people. Then New Zealand with 4.9 million people. Then we have Australia with 25.4 million people. So they are ordered. If I look at the European country, let's see. Finland have 5.5 million. Switzerland have 8.5. Portugal have 10.1. Netherlands have 17.1. Romania have 19.4. Then Spain have 46.7. Then Italy have 60.4. Then France have 65.2. Then UK has 67.8 and Germany has 83.7 million people. So within one block of continent, they are ordering ascendantly. So you see the sort, how I use the sort? So I say start ordering in this place, stop ordering to specify the first key. Then if in the first key we have several register record, I can say that I use a second key or a third key or a fourth key. You can use as many keys as you want. So you say where you start and where you stop. So now if I ask you, using that, I want you to find the country that is most populated, which is India, with the sort command and other command that we have seen. What can we do to show that India is the most populated country there? So I can sort the country saying that the separator will be a comma, and I will start sorting in field number 4 numerically and stop sorting in field number 5. So remember, no, this is field number 0, field number 1, field number 2, 0, 1, 2. Oh, it's field number 3, okay? Yeah, exactly. I have to start sorting in field number 3 and stop in field number 4, which means that it will include, the key include only field number 3 and numerically. The name of the country. And of course, we should see at the beginning the country with the lowest population. Let's see which one is Vanuatu. Doesn't even have 1 million people. And in the last line, we have the country with the larger population. Now, I just want a result that say India is the country with the largest population. So how can I combine this to just show India? So since we order them ascendantly, I need the last line. So what should I do here? Pipe. How do I get the last line? Many way, no? Tell dash n what? 1. Give me the last line. Here is India. This is the whole line. I just want the name of the country. So what can I do if I just want the name of the country? I can cut field number 1. So I can say cut as separator, use a comma, and I need field number 1. India is the most populated country. Look what we are going to do now. I am going to sort, but in reverse order. The R is for reverse order. So we will have India at the top and Vanuatu as the last line. So let's see. Vanuatu is the last line. India is the most populated country in this database. Then USA, then Brazil. So USA have 331 million inhabitants. Brazil have 212 million. So I want the most populated. If I did that, what should I do to get the most populated? I get the first line. If I just want the name of the country, I cut. I need field 1. And I'm going to say that the delimiter is a comma. India. Now, if I want to say, let me come back. Here we have the most populated country. So I want to say India is the most populated country with 1,380,000,000 people. How can I do that? So I will need the first field, second, third, and the fourth field, isn't it? So I can say, give me field 1 and 4, and the delimiter is not a tab, but the delimiter is a comma. Okay. Now, I want something that say India is the most populated with 1,380,000,000 people. So I want a phrase that say India is the most populated. So what can I do? In this moment, I have the two data. I can still work on it. There is a command that is called printf, which is the same as printf in C++. So let me show you some example. So for example, you can say hello and put a string here and say, for example, hello and the name of a person. And go to the next slide, for example. So if the name of the person is Eric, this %s will be replaced by Eric. So hello, Eric. Or for example, hello, Eric. The actual temperature is something Celsius. So let's say that this something is, we might be in 24 in this moment. Look at the %s was replaced by Eric, and the %d for decimal was replaced by 24 because it's what I give. Every % something is replaced by one argument that you give in the back. So here, what can I do? I can use this print method, no? And do something. So the print need a space, not a comma. And we have a comma here as a separator. So we can replace it. For example, we can use translate, comma, with a right space. So we have India, space, and this. Then what can we do? We can call printf and put the most populated country is %s with %d habitants. So let me see. Oh yeah, I put %d. The most populated country is %s. So look at the most populated country is India with. Let me go to the next slide here. So look at the most populated country is India with this habitant. You see how I combine command between them to give me more power. Okay, let's do in AWK or in Python a program that will tell us the total population in Europe is this one. We already computed, so it will show it. But also the total population in America, the total population in Africa. We have 5 continents. By the way, how can we count the number of continents that we have in the database? We have 5. You know that in the world we have 6 continents, no? We have America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and What is the number 6 that it does not appear here?
Antarctica.
Antarctica, you're right. Okay, you know that Antarctica, below the ice, we do have a continent. It is covered by ice. In the North Pole, we don't have a continent, it's just ice. That is over the ocean. But in the South Pole, which is Antarctica, we do have a continent. So we are going to go to a war at one point when we have the melting of the ice with the global warming to take Antarctica. And all the big power already know that. Okay, unfortunately, we contaminate so much that we are melting the ice of the North Pole and the South Pole, no? The Arctica and the Antarctica. The Arctica is the North Pole and the Antarctica is the South Pole, no? We are melting the ice and we go directly to a catastrophe. There is no doubt. And we don't take any, we are not conscient, or we are going straight away to a suicide, no? Okay, so I want a program that will go in this file and show me the total population of each country, of each continent, sorry. So the idea was first, show me that there are 5 continents. So of course, you can go there and say, okay, America is one, this is America, Asia is another one, Europe is another one, you continue, Africa is another one, blah, 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 and you, of course, that's fine if you have 35 records. But if you have 1 million records, you are not going to do that. So what can we do to count the number of continents? Why don't we get first a list of continents? So let's do it. How do we get a list of continents? I use, for example, the cut. I can do cut. The delimiter is a comma. And I want field number 6 of the 5 countries. So look, we have all the continents. America, Asia, Europe. So what are we going to do now? We are going to sort them. If we sort them, look at all Africa is together, all America is together, all Asia is together, all Australia is together, all Europe is together. After sorting them, there is a command that is called unique. Unique, if 2 lines are identical, it will just keep 1. So for example, here we have a lot of lines of Europe. It will just keep 1 line of Europe. Look at the result after unique. All the block of Africa just become 1 line of Africa. All the line of America become 1 line of America. So if I want to count them, 5 continents. What count? Dash line. Count the number of lines. So we have 5 continents. And those continents are Africa, America, Asia, Australia, and Europe. So do a program in AWK that will show us the total population in Africa, the total population in America. So let's do that. Let's call it total all continent. .awk. So what should I do? Do I need a beginning part? This is where we are going to process ill register. Do I need an end part? So yes, I need a begin part, no? I can create an array. The index of array in AWK are string. So the population of America up to now is 0. The population of Asia up to now is 0. The population of Africa is 0. The population of Australia is 0. And the population of Europe, it's funny to see that we have 6 continents and 5 of them start with A. Just one starts with E, which is Europe. But all the other 5 continents start with A. Okay, every time that I pass a register, what should I do? So if it's an American country, I have to update population of America. If it's an Asian country, I have to update the population of Asia. So what should I write here? I can write something like that if the continent is in $6. Okay? Remember, country is $1, capital is $2, currency is $3, population is $4, superficie is $5, and continent is $6. So if $6, for example, is equal to America, what should I do? The population of America should grow. So I should add what? I should add $4. And I repeat this for each continent. It's Asia, population of Asia, I increase it. Give me something that will be much faster than writing this 5 times. I can do that, and it will work. But it takes time to write that. So give me another solution. I can do what? Let's see how write, for example, let's do the one of Europe, because we know the one of Europe. So, and we verify it. If Europe, population of Europe, and here at the end, print total of Europe is, and I'm going to print what we have in pop Europe. I should do the same for Asia. And I should do the same for America. I'm doing it only for 3 continents. Then we do a better version. America. Okay, we have this. So we find another window. We are going to run IWK, specifying the file name. So the file name is total all continent. So total for all continent, and the country are in this file. Didn't work. Let's see. 0 if. Okay.
I think you missed an R in Australia.
You think I miss an R here, but it's not the problem that we have here, no? Okay, let's see if population plus equals $4. Oh, you remember? Again, field that separate are a comma. So look at the population of Europe. We computed this number should be the same one. Okay, as you can see, it did work. What can I do to be much more efficient? I can do something that is much better. What about population of Where is the continent? $6 plus equal $4. Is this not enough? Yeah. I don't need an if. So let's do it. Let's execute it. We will have exactly the same result. So look, we have exactly the same result. Now, instead of writing 4 lines here, there is a 4 that exists. For continent in, I create a variable that is called continent. For continent in pop, in population. Let me see, I don't remember the syntax. Man, AWK, array. Yeah, here is the syntax. For variable in R, so I have to put a parenthesis, for parenthesis. The variable, I call it continent in the array pub. Then they have the statement. So what should I do? I'm just going to show total of, and here I want to show the continent is, and here I want to show the population of the continent. So instead of writing 5 lines at the end, I do a 4. Do it. Okay, so now we have the population of Africa, Asia, Europe. We can verify, yes, the Europe is correct. So look at, I just put a 4 and I have them. You see how powerful is AWK? So do the same thing with Python as an exercise. Okay, so we will, on Thursday, we will continue to work a little on this to get used to manage some databases. And we are going to see some databases that are in the operating system that are very important for the security. The database of the user, for example. So we do have a file, as I was telling you at the beginning, which is this file, the etc passwd file. It's a database that have the information of the user. For example, here, this line is for user Eric. So this is the login name. This is the user ID, the group ID. This is the full name of the person. This is the home directory. And this is the bash that this person used, this user used. But if you create a new user in the system, there will be a new line here in this file. And this file is exactly as the one that we were seeing. The difference is that the separator is a colon. It's not a comma, it's not a space. The separator is a colon. So those comma separated value file, CSV file, they are very common. We have them everywhere today. And this is one of them. Okay. Let's stop here if you don't have questions, and I see you in 2 days.